Let's play it. Okay, I put Consult the Star Charts in Twin. I'll put it in the Mox field real quick. I guess we're pivoting. Yeah, well, we can do a deck tech after round 1. I think I just main phase the bolt because of mutagenic. Usually what I like to do. Is this Twin Gifts pause? Of course I don't have Gifts and Give It in this deck. You're crazy. Of course not. Of course not. Why do you make me? Why do you have to make me the bad guy every time you ask about gifts? But yeah, because so like I don't know. I've been wanting to play Twin a little bit lately. The thing is, it's like Twin was like so clearly unplayable because when it was printed, like Underworld Breach was like the comically better is it combo deck, but they banned Breach, and now Twin wins by default. And Consult the Star Charts is like such a perfect card for the archetype that I don't know. I've just been wanting to play it. Yeah, they did unban Twin. We have actual Splinter Twin in our deck right now. They unbanned Twin, and it was predictably awful. The black deck looks kind of hard to pilot. I mean, I don't think it's particularly harder to pilot than a lot of other decks. Okay, taking 3 down to 14. Would love to draw land so I could snap bolt this turn. That feels nice to say. Okay, we did. It's a pretty painful one, though. Is this recent? Twin got unbanned like maybe 9 months ago, maybe a year ago. Like somewhere in that range. Leave the Tamiyo back to block. We have some Flame of Anors in our deck. They have at least 4 spells in their hand. I guess it could only be 3. They could have drawn land because they drew a card off the bobble. Yeah, we did a 24-hour stream post Twin unban. So they did flip a mutagenic growth. It's weird that they didn't just main phase it. I think that probably means Violent Urge, but we're dead to Violent Urge anyways, I think. Matchup seems unfavored. Maybe. Hey, we are dead to the Violent Urge. Okay, so we're gonna bring in the 4th Flame. I think I want the Fire Magics. I'm main decking 1 fire. Okay, here's the deck, okay. So the big thing, of course, is that Consult the Star Church is just such a perfect card where you're holding up your mana, you're digging for your combo pieces, you need a piece of card advantage. I'm still the believer if you only have Trainer as your enabler for Flare, then it's okay to just play 3 Flares, or better to play 3 Flares. I think some amount to have like the proactive Counterspell to protect the combo is good. Going down a Flame because you're going to see a lot of cards with the Consults. And I think having 1 main deck Fire Magic to dig for is kind of nice. Okay, so maybe I want to play 3 Thundertrap, 2 Flare. I do want to play the 4th. Could go down also a little bit on the combo. German Exarch. Probably fine. Although maybe I play just 2 Twins, 3 Exarchs, and keep all the Flares. And let's try that. Okay, not a super ideal hand, but I think we should keep this on the play. Wait, this is 61? Okay, oops. Not sure what the other card I meant to drag out was. So Flame should be pretty good next turn. We'll see if they have the Bobble or the Mutagenic Growth. Their hand is probably really... They graveyarded Expressive Iteration. Okay, their hand is great. Their hand is very good. You like Merfolk or find it boring? I don't think Merfolk's fine. I don't think I've got strong feelings about it. We've played a good amount of Merfolk on the stream. I usually the things I find interesting are decks that are like, you know, fresh and there's like a new tech or new card we're trying out. I think beyond that I don't have a lot of like pet decks these days. Right, do I flip the Tom? I don't think I flip the Tamiyo. I think I just kill Channeler, kill Steel Cutter, and then probably plan to sack the Tamiyo to one of the flares. Because I imagine they're going to play another Steel Cutter this turn, or an iteration, if they're going to graveyard the iteration off the Channeler. Daddy with the 60 months, so long. Thank you so much. Two Steel Cutters down. If I draw a twin, I guess we're going to go for the Exarch this turn. Another flame isn't so bad. Alright, do I want to consult, a counterspell, or lightning bolt? I could really see taking any of these. I think I like just taking counterspell. This way I can just cleanly hold up counterspell slash clue token, and then I can clean this up with the Flame of Anor. Plus draw 2, and then if I have the counterspell, I'm less likely to want to sack this to the flame, or to the flare, so that I'm more likely to be able to use the flame effectively. Three cards left in their hand if they shock in the Steam Vents. Play a Slick Shot Show Off. Pretty good. Two cards left in their hand. Mutagenic Growth worth 4 damage. We're not blocking. Seems like they do have a Mutagenic Growth. Don't think we're supposed to flare the Show Off. Growth is 5. Oh yeah, 5 damage because of the Prowess token. So we will go to 2. Not super ideal to be a 2, but have a relatively clear board with a flare in our hand. Maybe they're also just lagging. Like there's this symbol, they might not have it. So, I mean, if their last two cards are both Mutagenic Growths, we die. Okay, so I'm down to 2. Let me double check the island count. I'm pretty sure it's just 2 basic islands. Oh, it is 3. I don't think I'm gonna be cycling it though. Kind of be able to draw like land 2-drop. And then if I can just cycle it now. So definitely dead to a lot of stuff. Got 2 cards in their hand. Okay, dead to that. I flare, I don't have the blocker. I guess we could have flared the Show Off, but I think it's just like if they didn't have the Mutagenic Growth, we were in such better shape. But I feel okay about not flaring it. Could have taken Bolt over Counterspell too. Tough one. Why not do this upkeep and draw 2? The flare upkeep? What's the... Why would you do it upkeep? Guardian of Freylease. So it could be Neoform. Probably a great matchup. Yeah, I do think that's one we're going to have to test some. Yeah, almost definitely Neoform. Might be doing some Bolt Snap Bolton. They discard a Neoform. Still nothing? Right, if we just find a land off of our Consult, we'll have triple counter magic up, so that'll be kind of hard to lose. Yeah, I don't need to snap bolt. I'll just snap consult. The new bolt snap bolt. Yes, a funny opponent has not cast a spell yet, and it does seem like we're already in garbage time. We discard a Gristlebrand. Bit awkward discard. Not really. This is pretty blank card. Yeah, 4 of a kind counter spells. This is good. This is the only good modern. Snapcaster Mage is your clock against the combo deck who's not doing anything. This will take the Lrien Revealed. Discard another card. That's card advantage, baby. We might bolt snap bolt. Maybe they have 4 Pact of Negations in their hand. Alright, probably gonna cast Eldritch Evolution this turn. Do we speak about Doc Ock's Tentacles? I think that card's kind of interesting. Definitely a lot of 5 mana value creatures in Modern that you shoot into play. I don't know how many of them you end up playing with Urza Saga. Here's the Allosaurus Rider. Might as well let it resolve. So if they have 3 Pact of Negations as exactly their last 3 cards, they could win. There's one. Oh, I would love. Oh my gosh. Okay. Was your hand literally 3 Pact of Negations? Okay. Well, I think we got very lucky that they couldn't go off until we drew that last land there, huh? Yikes. All right. Signs aren't great. Flames aren't great, but they like cycle of turn. These have a couple targets. The Blood Moon should be pretty nice. Ooh, scary. So we do have Flare Tamiyo, which is like incredibly valuable on the draw. Like it's kind of the nuts. I think I have to keep. I think it's that good. I know the rest of the hand's garbage, but it's just like if I like this is like the best Molda 3, which is maybe not a great argument. Once had a friend say Pact of Negation was the best design free counterspell because of its steep cost and upkeep. I guess he forgot it only sees playing combo decks that never have to worry about silly things like next upkeep. Yeah. Yep. I've been kind of thinking about Pact of Negation Necro. That's like main deck and Consign. Don't know if that really makes a lot of sense though. Go for it. Seemed like they were thinking about it. Well, we didn't draw the land. Play Hive Mind in the Necro deck? Hell yeah. They've been seeing their land drops too. Did anyone ever pay the cost for Pact of Negation and won the game? Yeah. Usually, at least I played Pact of Negation in a historic PT one time online, and you had some combos with it where you could play like 3 mana Gideon and you could just 0 mana Pact, or you could Tails in your own Pact trigger or Stifle. I just don't think Stifle was legal. But Tails in was really good because it countered Krinko in that event. But like a lot of times you would cast Teferi and then they would counter it. And you would just pact their counter and then you would Teferi plus and win. In Modern, it's not so much of a thing. Yeah, and Amulet Titan used to play Pact, and it was just really good just to protect your combo. Okay, I guess we're gonna discard 2 flames end of turn. But we're also going to just run out of Snapcaster, so we have 3 counter spells up. Gideon was a Pioneer deck for a brief time because this. I think you're thinking of Historic because Pact of Negation's never been legal in Pioneer, right? I wonder if there could be a good Pact of Negation Hive Mind deck. Could be a Garuda deck, although I don't think Garuda would be that good in it. Updated Grixis Twin with Consult. That's some great results. Yeah, I saw Grixis builds running around, and like as good as Frog is, I'm kind of just like into how clean the mana is. But we've seen I saw a list that was very similar to this, if not just this list recently. What are those 2 builds of prowess? It was I think we could have taken a line that was better against the mutagenic growth in there. We could have flared the show off instead of just trying to flame it next turn. How about mono blue Eldrazi with Consign and Null Drift? I think you really want to have a lot of card draw if you can. You're gonna be consigning pack triggers. Might be okay. You can also play it with Lotus Field, like you can consign your own Lotus Field triggers. Your consigns are probably a bit too taxed at that point. The Gideon deck played the red extra turn card. Nice. Opponent, can we get the show on the road here, please? I attacked with this Tamiyo 2 minutes ago. How good is Tails in at the moment? Doesn't seem very good. But in the Lotus Field deck, you can still do the Teferi thing, like play Teferi. Play Teferi, Pact of Negation, untap 2 mana. I guess Grixis Reanimator could be a great home for packs. Maybe Esper, or I guess Grixis is the one that prefers to main deck the consigns. That could be the best shell for it. Okay, so does my opponent have 2 protection spells as their last 2 cards? I counterspell. Nice. Nice hand. Go to game 3. Tough stuff. Alright, the nuts again. Tamiyo Flare. We also have Twin. Let him fizzle. I just can't beat a Gristlebrand here. Let's keep it moving, I think. Also gets an opponent. I mean, I think they just left and came back, but keep it going, yeah. Opponent is in the tank on their keep here. Yeah, when I said the nuts, I was talking about having Flare plus a creature to sack to it. But we do also have the Twin. It will probably be pretty good this game. It also gives me like an out to their combo too, which is something. Okay, like a 2-minute tank on the mulligan decision here. They have a lot of tough mulligan decisions though. Seems to me this deck could be twinning Charballs, but they're not in the 75. Yeah. Maybe it'd be better than the Blood Moons in the board. Blood Moons are a bit more versatile. Okay, they did keep their 7 after a very long tank. Lead on a Surveil land. So maybe a 1-land Surveil land hand. Keep a card on top. Okay. Actual nuts. This is Flare of Denial, or this is Flare of Denial. You can sack a non-token blue creature to cast this and it counters a spell. We also have Deceiver Exarch, which combos with the Splinter Twin. It might be good for me to. I think I'm gonna go for Exarch instead of the Blood Moon here. No, the Blood Moon with no forest is just too good. Oh, and they yield until end of turn. So that's good news. Generous end. Oh my gosh. They still can't cast Neoform or Evolution though. When 4-1 with mono black anti-casual yesterday felt good, but Sires have deaths felt unbeatable. Yeah, I gotta stop them from getting that down, I guess. Okay, They play a Rider. I don't think maybe I was supposed to play the Rider. I think it's okay not to. Try to protect the twin combo. They could have Besage you here. Do I want to untap the Clue token to draw a card, or do I want to tap their green mana? I think I want to tap their green mana. A little bit scared of them having somehow another forest plus Beseiju for the twin. Don't think we're gonna get comboed here. There is a Blood Moon in play. In yield. So we don't really need to be scared of Pact since they can't pay or consign. Right. When it's 2 and 2, they were last seen playing Affinity. So let's keep this. They also kept 7, but they're not playing Affinity anymore. They're playing Domain. Hope they don't have a Scion. 24-hour stream. Win Oko gets unbanned. Not even an if. Win. You know, I didn't think they were ever going to unban Twin. I really, really don't think they're going to unban Oko, but let's not commit to it. Womp womp. So we got to twin them. Guess we need to get a Steam Vents. Be Consultant of turn looking for an Exarch. Or literally might be okay, not broken. Okay. Consider this. Consider this. Oh, okay, we can't beat the Doorkeeper Thrill. Consider this sequence. Turn 1, Utopia Sprawl. Turn 2, Uro. Consign the Uro Leaves trigger. Consider that sequence of events, and then get back to me on if you think it would be fine or not. You can think it's fine. If you can think it's fine, but you just have to know that that is likely going to be a pretty common sequence. I might cut the twin combo here. 4 consigns, I guess, is a bit much, if not way too much. Yeah, let's play 3. Go down on the twin combo. Cut 1 more card. Don't know what to cut. Maybe Trainer 4. Seems fine. Okay, yeah. If you think, oh wait, we're getting the visual bug. I think we're getting the visual bug because. Oh no, this is 60. Never mind. Sorry. Yeah. So if you think that that's fine, which I don't think it's fine personally, but if you think that that's fine, you kind of have to think that that's fine if you were interested in unbanning Uro. That being said, I also really do enjoy right now that in Modern, there isn't like a de facto best card draw spell. And so that's another thing I don't like about unbanning Uro is that Uro I think is just the de facto best card draw spell. Is that worse than Neoforming comboing turn 2? Yeah, I think so, because Neoform combo is like, it's incredibly linear. The card quality is incredibly low overall. Neoform combo is something that is like all in and is very disruptable, and if you are able to disrupt their plan, their deck completely crumbles. You can't do that against an Uro deck. An Uro deck is full of solitudes and counterspells and prismatic endings and red and 6s and omnaths, It's not like if you can't disrupt that, then if you can disrupt this Uro scam, that you've really even done anything meaningful at all. So I would say it's like not even comparable. I thought you said Riddler was the best card draw. Riddler is the best, but it's not the de facto best. Like it's not like Riddler is so good that every deck is playing it as their source of card advantage or jumping through hurdles, Like there are decks that go for Overlord and Consult the Star Charts and K Command instead because like it fits their deck better, But with Uro, like I think Uro is so good you have to jump through the hoops for it. Someone with the 32, thank you, welcome back. Flusterstorm be pretty good here. Interesting pickup. They keep a card on top. Flage, maybe? I do think they're going to stub my flashback Consign, then I flare. Would have been better to have just drawn a land. Not the worst if they just don't have another creature here. They did keep a card on top, so they do probably have another creature. I think there's a good chance they have like Abolt and or Binding and or Flames. They might have one more land. There's a good chance they have one more stub. The Sink is really good against the escaped Uro, but I think I'd rather just hit my land, have Trainer, 2 counter spells up, dig for some card advantage probably. I think I'll take Counterspell. I don't think we're going to have the ability to tap out for Lrien Revealed for a little bit. Two cards in their hand. Maybe another Flage. I think that would make some sense. Could be like a Flames here. I don't think a creature makes a lot of sense. They're getting pretty close to having enough cards to escape Flage a second time. Don't love that it's kind of just eating up both of my counter spells. Rumble is also really problematic with Uro. It's another card to think about. Okay, so I need to let that go. And then just like flame it end of turn. Although the last card could be another stub. That's a good pickup. So now I can like compensate in card advantage for me having to burn both counter spells on the Flage. Although I guess their last card's probably a removal spell for the Tamiyo, so maybe that's not gonna happen. It could be a Leyline also. Leyline of the Guild Pact. Although it could also be Leyline Binding, and they just want to see if the Flage resolves so they can keep it, and then they'll Binding the Tamiyo if I do have the counter spell. So sad to be right about that, I guess. They got one card left in their hand. We draw another Flame, which is not a bad pickup. Notably, they can't escape Uro this turn unless they have another red source. Sorry, Flage. Too much Uro chat. The talk of the chat. I'm gonna flame this. Tough position. So a good chance that their last card is another Binding. I guess it could be a land. They would need a land to stub with the stub the counter spell. So hard to say exactly what's going on over there. So they're playing around Flare being the one unknown card by Binding first. Very, very tense game here. They don't have that many 2-drops, but hopefully they just, you know, run out of threats for a bit. I can start drawing cards. Oh boy. We still have 4 Consult the Star Charts in our deck. Yeah, I mean, I think if they had a guild pack, they would have played it last turn. But yeah, it could be that. A lot of good draws here. Getting close to escaping the Flage for the 3rd time. They need only 2 more cards in the yard. We could kick a Thundertrap Trainer if we drew one, although we don't have that many left. Don't know how aggressively we want to go for the combo here. There's a very high chance that they have another binding. I guess that's not that high a chance. Yeah, we can just Exarch the Triumph end of turn now. I think it's time to go for it. So if they have 2 bolts, we get got. There's the Consult. I think they have something. Maybe they have a stub. They're paying costs. They have 1 bolt. All right. Let's go. Okay, I think on the draw, sorry, I don't know why I didn't bring in the Ghost Vacuums. I don't know if I want the full 3, but they even just are kind of like okay win cons, and it's kind of cool that we got to showed them that we kept the twin combo in. I think I do want the 4th Consign on the draw. The problem with Blood Moon is like a single basic gets me. I think I can play 1 if they have Leyline in the guild pact. A basic gets me. Counter target non-creature spell unless its controller plays 1 plus an additional 1 for each creature in your party. Could be pretty fun. I'm not playing Pestermite though already. Now my brain is like full of Pact of Negation thoughts. I'll think some more about it tonight. I'm trying not to start brewing midstream again. I don't know if it's here. I just think it would want to be like a Lotus Field or like a Null Drifter deck where your main deck in consigns, and you would also have to have like nice big stuff to tap out for. Would be the other reason to play it. That's always the most fun way to play Pact, is just like big value card packed up. I don't think we can mulligan Bolt Counterspell on the draw. What's the win con? Snapcaster Mage. Thundertrap Trainer. Bolt Snap Bolt also with like a Tamiyo ult. Ghost Vacuum also win con, I guess. Okay, big Scion. No Consign for me, unfortunately. Definitely keeping this Sweet Flame. Sweet Deck ago had Platinum Angel, Pactification, Chance for Glory. They have Wrath Disguise in their deck. The card is so bad against me. Unbelievably bad against me. I think I'm going to go ahead and cycle the Consult if they're not doing anything. Really looking for a wizard, although we don't find one. They have a Doorkeeper Thrall in their hand, I assume, with that pause, right? Beat out to 28 months. How's the Star Chart? It's pretty good. I don't know why they're not playing at end of turn. I guess they have like, they must have a stub in their hand, right? So I need to wait to flame until I have Counterspell up too? Seems tough. Yeah, I think I should just trade for a stub instead of doing nothing with my mana. And try to find like a Snapcaster Mage or a second Bolt. Huh. And you know, sometimes you're just wrong with your read. Against Boros, just like madcap experimenting into Platinum Angel and just countering the cards that can kill Angel. That sounds actually miserable. Never mind. I thought about it a little bit longer. So maybe they've got an Uro they're going to tap out for. In that situation, do you regret not doing it pre-combat, or am I okay because they didn't try any second main? Yeah, I'm okay because they didn't try anything second main. All right, a little bit worried about getting like flames and bolted out of the game at this point. Hope we can find a Ghost Vacuum. Alright, we had too much Uro talk, now I keep calling Flage Uro. You think this Tamiyo is going to be a removal magnet? Let's go, Ghost Vacuum. So I think they've got a binding. Let's let them just binding the vacuum. End of turn, just kind of get a 2-for-1 off of it, and then not give them the better binding target in the Tamiyo. Although I do have the Consign for the binding. I think I'm just okay to. Well, maybe I should just Consign this. I only have one Counterspell up if I Consign this though. It is really bad if they have another Flage and I don't Consign. Yeah, only playing one Surveil because we've got like the Lrien Revealed and the Sinks also, but maybe we should be playing a second. Like our actual fetch lane count is, I guess we're playing 7. I had 6 for a little bit. Yeah, you could play one more. So they're gonna play a Wrath Disguise here, okay. That's fine. Yeah, the Ghost Vacuum could just take over the game. I don't think we're supposed to counter the Wrath though. Maybe we are. Obviously a little tempting to flip the Tamiyo. Certainly seems like a trap. Maybe I should. No, I don't think I should cycle now. I can cycle. You get counter the Wrath and go for the Ghost Vacuum line because it sounds fun. Okay. Well, like one weird thing about like activating Ghost Vacuum when you flaged is that the flage goes back to their graveyard. So like it's not like super ideal. They put a Steam Vince in the graveyard here. And they pass the turn. Don't expect the Tamiyo to successfully attack. I think I still want to cycle. Oh, the Thrall lets me keep the Flage. Okay, I did miss that. Okay, yeah, I think I'm just going to tap out for a Lrien Revealed and keep up the Counterspell. A little bit too risky to go for Trainer plus Flare. We also might kick a Trader this game. Okay. I guess there is a kind of a big difference between being at 6 and 5, and that difference is Tribal Flames. They don't have enough red mana to Flames, so their last 2 cards would have to be red land Flames to get me, and they missed the attack step, so. You know, I've been saying this a little bit lately. You don't have to play Doorkeeper Thrall as. Oh my gosh. So I guess it's still fine. I forgot about the. Okay. What I get for shit talking the Thrall. I think I still do this though. But you don't have to play Doorkeeper Thrall in Zoo. I'm not sure that it's right or wrong to play, but it just isn't a mandatory card. Would there be benefit to cast Lrien Revealed while the Tamiyo trigger was on the stack? It's an instant, so seems like an illegal play to me. Perhaps paper only. They got 3 cards in their hand. Like they're gonna cast a Leyline here. Maybe Wrath X equals 2. X equals 1. I don't know why they boarded all these Wraths. Seems like they do have one. I might end up countering one at some point. I don't know. If I draw, I guess I don't have any painless untapped lands. I do want to offspring my Thundertrap Trainer. Don't clip that. Don't clip that. It's a mechanic on the card. I do like having Snare for another Flames. Okay, we'll flame this. All right, we all want it. Let's do it. Bolt, snap, bolt. Got them all the way down to 9. I'm gonna play the vacuum here, I think, and bait out the Wrath Disguise. I think I will counter the Wrath this time. That resolves. I guess that's what they were trying to tap out for earlier. Seems like their last card is an instant, maybe. I mean, they're acting like it is at least. Okay, yeah, I do actually think that a Flage is the only way we could lose this game. So let's respect the Flage. And they agree, and we are 2-1 after losing to Prowess. I do think they mis-sideboarded for game 3. At least I don't think they had any Wrath Disguise rotting in their hand. Okay, Mulligan, the one-lander. Alright, what you got over there? I do think that the Tron matchup is pretty maybe the biggest reason. They imprint a Sire and they play a Mind Stone. I've not been playing a lot of Tamiyos lately. Let's do Prowess. I'd have won game 2 if I had chosen to play around Mutagenic Growth, but it was okay not to. We would let the Thought Not Seer resolve here. Yeah, it's fine. We have 2 flames. Oh, I guess we only have 1 sink. We'll get 2 looks at another land. Could have been better to play this to play around the Seer. Will Shelob see play after Spider-Man jumps? I don't remember what Shelob does. Does it have a lot of spider synergies? Again, I consulted on that set a long time ago now. They have Dismember? Brutal. Alright, probably better to just Flame a Seer here. They're probably taking the second Flame, but I get to not take the damage this way. I get to like run through the deck a little bit more too. They might take Counterspell also, depending on what's in their hand. They do take a Flame. Which Dark Souls is it that some characters like Flame, Sweet Flame? Every time I play this card, that's in my head for some reason. Glad Nauseum with the 32 months. Thank you. Welcome back. Really happy. I'm glad I've drawn a Snapcaster to snap the Flame. Next turn. Hold up Counterspell this turn. Alright, second piece of Tron. Bit worried about them having a K command. I mean, the thing is they know I have this Counterspell, so if they just have one good card, they're not going to cast it here. Yeah, I'll counter the Expedition map. Just keep them off Tron. They have 1 card left in their hand. It could be a banger, but it's not that likely to be a banger. I thought they would maybe crack the Mind Stone end of turn. It's one of the blacksmiths that DS2. Okay, cool. Hers is mine. Listen, if your last card is Kozilek's command, we'll lose. If it's not, we should be winning. If it's Dismember number 2, they could stop me from 2-moding the flame. If you thought draw 2 cards with flame was good, how about draw 3 cards? Because we get the Seer trigger. Oh, they're all lands. I guess we get Lrien Revealed sooner rather than later. Exarch is interesting. I don't know how aggressive we want to be with the Exarch. I think it's probably right to get it out kind of early, especially if they put the Sire into their hand end of turn, which I would kind of expect them to do since that's 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. But I guess they didn't do that last turn either. The hand is Sire, 2 mystery cards. Thought that they might sack the Mind Stone. They play a 3rd Urza's Mine. Twin. That's not too bad either. The last card's Warping Whale to counter this. That'd be kind of funny. The more things change, the more they stay the same, huh? I don't know why they're sacking the Mind Stone now. Like, you could have cast a spell on your turn. Fair. Although Twin on a Snapcaster is going to be pretty close to lethal. The bolt. Okay, running out of juice, although the Sync is pretty good against the Sire. And it's going to Sire 3 mystery cards after they draw. How close are we adding a click a la 2012? I remember spending my first paycheck from a sushi job on a Vendilion click and and being so happy with the purchase. However, the card is like laughably underpowered in 2025. All right, we are gonna don't clip this. I'm gonna offspring the trainer. Consult over the bolt, I think. Although the bolt's obviously pretty juicy. Oh, we could have double. We could have bolt. Yeah, we'll take the twin though over the flame. Anyway, we could just put the twin on this, and I think I'm just gonna play this out. We could have bolted it into flare, but I think I'd rather like maybe just cast consult to dig for Snap Bolt or Exarch, and maybe not. But I think if I'm gonna twin this, then it was a good sushi place. It was really good, yeah. They like it paid really crappy, but we could eat as much sushi as we wanted at the end of the shift, and I would probably eat $100 in sushi a night at the end of the night. Why not sack the guy who's getting excited anyways? Oh. K command X equals 2. Yeah, it's really, really, really bad if they get Tron off of this. Maybe they already have Tron. Sphere? Does my graveyard even matter? I have Snapcasters. Do they think they have Tron? No, they're not going to play the Tron afterwards, are they? Okay, this is not how I would have spent the K command here, I guess. All right, I do think I want to consult here since our mana is going to be pretty taxed. Now, is Counterspell better or is Deceiver Exarch better? I think it's got to be Exarch. They're like down 3 K commands and a Dismember, or 2 K commands. It is just 2. The idea is I could twin here. I think I'm going to go for the Exarch. I do think it's kind of close. I guess I should have attacked. That's the 4th bolt. Well, we could see all the cards again. But yeah, going just for bolts instead would have been better. Is our mana taxed? Well, I was thinking our mana was taxed because we were gonna put the twin on the trainer, but obviously we didn't end up doing that, so maybe it wasn't. I can't believe I thought Ugin would be problematic with Splinter Twin in the format. Okay, that's 3 more mana, but they're tapping a thing. Oh, no, tap it. Come on. I mean, it seems like their hand is like a Mind Stone and a Sire. So like if that mystery card is Dismember, we can complain. It's not. Yay. Everyone concedes a twin combo now. I remember back way in the day, people would not concede a twin combo. They would just make you click through because it was so easy to misclick because the client was so bad. Looks like a good sideboard plan to me. It's like our third or fourth twin win this league, right? Or fourth? What do you mean was so bad? Magic, believe it or not, Magic Online was way worse. Like it was, like people, it was Magic Online was so bad 10 years ago. People's the quality of the client, the reputation of that client persists to this day. That you're literally making this meme because it was so bad. You know what I mean? It was so slow and laggy and buggy that like you right now saying, what do you mean it was so bad? That attitude is because it was so bad. I think that its reputation has just persisted this long, but it is genuinely like way better now. It used to be so buggy and slow. Is this the golden age of Moto? That was post image too. All right, gotta consign that. Maybe I could have saved it Flare for it, actually. I don't know, it's pretty bad tempo. I want to see Urza's Tower. Uh-oh. Do we still feel the Treasure Tron deck is good? I liked it. I would play it again. But I would need to think several more reps on it, honestly. Might have been better to just draw a card since like they could have another Devourer or Ugin. Doesn't help that other games have gotten clients way better to look at comparisons. I agree with that. I think I would like I would like the client to look less gray. If we could get like a drag and drop, that would be nice. An auto tapper would be nice. Doesn't really seem like that would be that tough to implement, but I'm also a dumb guy who just sits and complains instead of doing anything else. 2 cards left after this. Could have drawn plus shatter. Well, they could just sack the Mind Stone is the problem. I mean, I guess we could draw land and twin, and they could have nothing. Otherwise, we're gonna go to game 3. Right, that is not land or twin, so now it's not possible. So let's go to game 3. Knowing how bad all tapper is in Arena, I don't know how easy it is. Easy, yeah, maybe it's just not. I would imagine it's not that crazy. Like I don't know if you could even import some of the code from Arena, or if that's even allowed. I don't know. Y'all keeping this? I think we can keep this on the play. But like just like having an Exarch is actually pretty good in this matchup, huh? So Arena? Well, it's a little bit less. Like I do genuinely like how Magic Online is not like I don't like the angles of the cards. It's like harder for me to like digest the board. Maybe just because I play Magic Online too much. I'd like it for the client to work continuously without me having to restart every 3 matches. I don't have that issue, but I know a lot of people do. Yeah, it is probably different languages. Opponents on the mold to 6. Well, that's a little scary. Let's keep that though. Dig for a twin or a consign or a flare. Pretty likely to find one of those, right? Find Flare. I think we're taking that over Counterspell or Flame here. Do they have another Tron piece? They do. I'm probably going to tap their Urza's Tower on their upkeep. Which feels very nostalgic to say. You don't have the issue. Yeah, I've got a really nice PC, so I don't have the issue, thankfully. If I play on my laptop, I do experience a lot more issues. -3 mana for you. We just let that go. And put it to 1 so they don't get another activation next turn, and then we can counter whatever they grab off of it too. You get a Disruptor Flute. Twin. You'd counter? Could you expand on why? Because I talked about why I didn't, right? So, because we can counter whatever they get off the card and they can't get another thing. Like we get to tax that mana a little bit. What is it? Why is it that you don't feel like this is worth, or this is a counter card, or why we should counter? So they cast like a Devourer here. That's fine. Thoughts here? Stonebrain. Stonebrain's pretty annoying here. They get leveler, it sucks for us a lot. Maybe. And they have a Dismember. Well, screwed. They might not have another Stonebrain to get. With Sink in hand, I think I would have let the Flute resolve. I think that's kind of an interesting angle, but it's going to be very tough to set up for it. Yeah, I mean, it seems like it would have worked out better to counter the Karn. Them having like Fleshraker plus Stonebrain is them having like 2 really low mana value cards is hard to play around. It's Emrakul? Fire. I think I'm going to kick a Consult and bank on finding a Consign here. Yeah, we did find the Consign. Consign Flame. They have no cards left in their hand. The map can generate a mana by getting another tower, or no, they've already played a land this turn. So they could play up to a 6-drop. I think they probably won't, though. Won't. Interesting. I'm going to take 2. They might get Abstergo Entertainment to get back the Stonebrain next turn. Pretty painful, but I'm going to go ahead and shock this in. All of a sudden, we're not doing so bad. They do just get another tower. So there's not really anything in play for like a cast trigger, like for us to care about a cast trigger all that much. So we're going to go down to like 3 after they cast a colorless spell. We counterspell, and they get hit with us, assuming they just drew not anything too good, which I don't know that we can beat anything too good. They get a Walking Ballista. Fun game. Okay, so counterspell the Ballista. Interesting that they left this much mana behind, so they have something else. It's like a Devourer. Gonna fade to draw step, maybe. What do we do against Devourer? It's not. They're spending 8 mana. Wait, is this Emrakul? Did they really top deck Emrakul? It's K command. Okay, I must counter this. We're still going to 3. Karn's at 1 loyalty. We've got a Flame of Anor. A wizard would be a good draw. Twins, not a very good draw. Let's draw 2. Exarch, Exarch, Exarch. Can we fade a draw step? Maybe not. Terrifying redraw. Power plant! Let's go, baby. Urza's power plant. I'm glad we played this. They conceded to it early game 1. I guess give us the GGs. Let's go, baby. Woo! All right, let's get a 4-1 prediction. Is Twin good? Yeah, I do think Twin is a little underplayed. I don't think it's particularly good, but I think it's a little underplayed. And so I thought Consult was a good upgrade. I thought it was worth a league, you know. Put on some 6. Let's go and keep this against a 6. Belcher? Belcher would be a fun matchup. I played against like blue-white control playing this land yesterday, or not yesterday, sometime this week, so could still be that. But Bianco's locked in Belcher. Seems like I should be pretty safe to tap out for a trainer here. So hope we can find a flare to protect our Twin. Okay. Info revealed, I guess. What if we're going to bring in the Blood Moons against them? They find a Lotus Bloom here. I'm kind of interested in just upkeep Exarchy. Like, I'm not really doing good against like Belcher plus Flare anyways. Hardcast Flare. I think that's kind of a win to get that out of the hand, honestly. All right, two counters on the Lotus Bloom, 4 cards in hand. See, probably multiple lands in hand if they're thinking this long, but okay, I guess not because they didn't play a land. Yeah, let me go ahead and consult. I want to hit another land this turn. And then it might be safe-ish to play the Tamiyo because they didn't hit a land last turn. Don't think safe enough. So tick down. So if I do play Tamiyo, I can't snap, consult, and snare. Seems kind of narrow. Belcher's such a boring deck. I know a lot of people have this opinion. I love games like this. I think this game is super interesting, and I honestly don't think that there's a more fun matchup maybe than Twin versus Belcher that we could have run into. But that's just me. I know that I'm a little bit weird for just loving to play against Belcher so much. So they probably have a Tamashi if they're floating white like this. So, not the most optimistic that this will work. Seems like they have multiple tools against it. I know I can't show, I just want to make sure I can't. Alright, so we'll make them have a payoff here. They might get to snare like a trainer. Yeah, if you're playing blue, the games against Belcher are a lot more interesting than if you're not, of course. Have I chewed on anything with Ice to Lotus Field? We've talked a little bit about it. I keep meaning to take a look. I'll go ahead and add that to my notes. I'm also getting a hankering to like fair Pact of Negation for some reason. I don't really know. Yeah, but like Icefield Lotus Field with like Splunking or Amulet does seem kind of interesting. I do think it probably devolves into a version of Amulet Titan, and this, you know, even in spite of my aversion to that archetype, I think it's unlikely to be a better version of Amulet Titan. If I did feel like I just discovered someday a better version of Amulet, we would play it, but I don't think that's super likely. All right, so I think this is the sideboard plan, unless I want to play Blood Moons. I think the Blood Moons are kind of just good. They just like they really restrict my opponent's mana. Although maybe it's just not that important. They have so many zeros, like either Collis with Belcher or Bloom, or pitch cards. I'm also just looking at the deck. I don't think there's a card here I want to cut. Or but where are all my flames? I don't know how they flew over here. Yeah, let's just not bring them in. Riddler Consign Tactic seems cool. Yeah, a lot of directions to go. Hopefully we'll have some good brews for y'all tomorrow. I don't know what we're playing in the challenge. I might play the Birthing Ritual deck from yesterday. I know y'all might be getting tired of the anti-causal deck too, but I do also want to circle back to the mono white version. Don't need to do that tomorrow though necessarily. All right, let's keep this on the play. I guess with Lotus Field and the Ice Still deck, it cuts out the need for Lotus Cobra if you have a Spelunking. It's like, I don't love that it's like adding a piece to remove a piece necessarily. Have I seen Lady Octopus taps to cast Lotus Move? I have seen that card. It is on my admittedly short list of interesting Spider-Man cards for Modern. So they chose Stern Scalding here, so I might just main phase the Exarch. Pretend I have a Consign or something. If Predator isn't that playable Modern, how far is Modern having Ponder and Brainstorm just be safe cards? Brainstorm is not safe. There's like Brainstorm is like it's like maybe like a 2 tiers above Ponder, or at least 1 tier above Ponder. But I think Ponder would be fine. I think I am gonna jam the Twin. Because if it gets countered, then we have Flare Up, and either way we just have 1 counter spell up, but if it gets countered, then maybe we're stopping them from comboing this turn. A stacks Winota deck running Lightstall, using Winota to get Drannith Magistrate to lock the cards. I think the thing with Winota, and anytime you build a Winota deck, it's gonna be worse than just putting Winota in regular Boros Synergy, like for the most part. But you can play Winota in like Mardu or Boros Synergy, and it's fine. Some people have done that. I'm gonna pet Athena. She's staring. Oh, we can flare this. Yeah, it's like beyond Brainstorm would be just so dumb. Okay, they shock their land in. Jamming Twin into Sync possible seems bold. Well, listen, we don't have a lot going on in this hand. I think jamming is fine. I think this was a spot to jam in my opinion. I think I also like countering this. Because I've got these Lrien Revealeds in my hand. I could also Lrien Revealed with Flare Up next turn. They're thinking here. I don't know what they're thinking about. Maybe they're thinking about just slamming a Belcher. Whatever they're thinking about, they decide no. I think we need to slam one of these. They gonna whir? They do whir. And then this resolved, so one fun thing could be they cast a Belcher, we flare, they don't have a 0 mana counterspell, and then we get to go Tamiyo Flame to kill the Belcher. They made white mana. I mean, this could just still be Tamashi, or sorry, Tamashi or Belcher. Unlikely this flare resolves. We do have to throw the flare at this. Seems like they're thinking about not if to counter back, but which counter spell to use. So they could have Shoal or Flare or Jawari Disruption. I was kind of hoping to draw a land, so Disruption wasn't counterspell here. So they Shoal pitching Sink. They have 3 cards in their hand. They have a Bloom in the yard. Let's hold. Can they cast the Seagate? I think they can even cast Seagate. They do pick up Seagate. Yeah, they should have plenty of mana for that. Instead, right now they cast an Archaeologist. They find either a Whir or a Force of Negation. They choose the Whir. So with the Seagate untapped, they have access to, let's see, this is 3, 6 plus 6. That's 12 mana, which is enough to Whir for Belcher and kill me. All right, GG's. I'll take a Twin 3/2. Again, I think Consult is an upgrade for Twin. We're probably at least one, if not 2, good upgrades for Twin for it to actually be like a really viable deck. But I think it's a little bit playable. And maybe we'll get a little bit more playable as we go. I got a lot to work on tonight. I think this is going to be it for me today. I'm also still like trying to balance no breakfast in the morning anymore. But it's getting a little bit better. Opened a whole lot of nothing in these packs. Let's find somebody to raid. Yeah, I've been loving the 90s MTG stream. I'm going to send y'all over here. Some Paper Legacy.